the one who watched it all begin and regretted it. Long ago, before the stars had names and the moon knew its path, there was a being who existed in the emptiness of the universe. His name was Aelion, and he was the first of all watchers. His duty was simple: to observe, to watch as the world began, as life stirred in the void, as the first flames of creation flickered into being. Aelion was neither young nor old, for time had not yet learned to move forward. He stood at the edge of nothingness, his eyes unblinking, his heart untouched by joy or sorrow. He simply watched. And then it happened. The first light appeared, a tiny spark in the endless dark. It grew, swirling and pulsing, until it became a great fire that gave birth to the stars. Aelion saw them scatter across the sky like seeds thrown by a careless hand. He saw the birth of planets, the shaping of mountains and seas, the slow awakening of living things. For a time, he felt nothing. Watching was his purpose, and he did not question it. But as the ages passed, something inside him began to change. The first hint of regret settled in his heart like a stone. He watched as the first creatures, small and fragile, stumbled through the world. They lived, they fought, they loved. And they died. Aelion saw their struggles, their tiny victories, their endless suffering. And for the first time, he wished he could do more than just watch. One day, a great storm came, swallowing a land where many of these creatures lived. Aelion saw them cry out, their voices too weak to be heard over the wind. He stretched out his hand, something he had never done before, but the storm ignored him. He had no power to change what he saw. He was only a watcher. The storm passed, leaving ruin behind. The creatures mourned, buried their dead, and began again. Aelion's regret grew heavier. Why was I made to see this? He whispered to the empty sky, if I cannot help. No answer came. Centuries turned to millennia. Kingdoms rose and fell. Wars were fought, songs were sung. Children laughed and elders sighed. Aelion saw it all, his heart growing heavier with every passing age. He watched as the creatures, now calling themselves humans, built great cities, only to tear them down in anger. He saw them invent wonders, then use them to harm one another. And still, he could do nothing. One night, as he stood upon a high cliff, watching a village burn in the distance, a voice spoke to him. It was soft, like the rustling of leaves, but it carried the weight of eternity. "You are troubled, Watcher," the voice said. Aelion did not turn. He knew the voice belonged to the wind, to the earth, to the universe itself. "I was made to see," he replied, "but I was not made to understand." The voice was silent for a long time. Then it said, "To watch is to bear witness, to remember. Without you, their lives would pass unseen. Their joys, their sorrows, they would vanish like smoke in the air. You give them meaning simply by seeing them." Aelion closed his eyes. But what meaning is there in suffering? What purpose does it serve? The voice did not answer. Perhaps there was no answer. The years rolled on. Aelion continued to watch, but now he did so with a heavy heart. He saw kindness as well as cruelty, love as well as hate. He saw a mother sing to her child, a farmer share his last bread with a stranger, a soldier lay down his sword and choose peace. And slowly he began to understand. Regret had blinded him. He had focused only on the pain, forgetting that life was both light and shadow. The world was not perfect, but it was alive. And in its chaos, in its beauty and its brokenness, there was something worth seeing. When the last star burns out and the final story is told, Aelion will still be there, watching, remembering, no longer with regret, but with quiet acceptance. For he was the one who saw it all begin. And in the end, that was enough.